All right, guys. So a little update after we ran. I got the bike fired up. It's running pretty decent. I do need to sync up the carbs. I did kind of a bench sync up, and I thought it did pretty decent, but it seems to be still a little bit of hesitancy. And also I up jetted or jetted way too high. Um, I think I jetted for a 550 instead of a 350 with a pipe. Watched a couple of videos from Classic Octane, and I think that's just way too big, the jets that I put in there. Anyway, in the running, I kept having this issue when I rebuilt these things with the choke. So as you can see, the choke is in the open position because it says open. There's a little arrow that points down, and you can see all the butterflies for the choke are open. Well, these screws right here and here were all loose. I didn't really know what was going on or how to deal with the choke on this bike. I'd never messed with it before. And also, when I bought it, there was a spring attached to this lever, and it was screwed under here, the vacuum port. And I thought that's kind of odd, and I didn't see that in the other videos or bikes that I was looking at online. So anyway, what I did is the other day I had to keep the bike running. I had to hold this open, obviously, or else if you do this, it chokes off, no air, too much fuel, floods it out. And I think that was my initial problem. So what I did is I took these screws and I adjusted them all. I tightened them all up. And as I snugged them down, the springs that are located right here weren't snapping the butterflies closed. So now I have nice friction and I can leave it open where it's supposed to be. And this was just after looking at the internet on YouTube on 350F startups, and everybody went around, and every time they showed a picture of the carburetors, I'd freeze frame that thing and take a look and go, oh yeah, look at this. This lever is always open or down in the open position. So anyway, figured that out. Quite happy with that. So now I can just leave it open. It works like a normal choke. And also a couple things that I found during running it up is an oil leak. That's why the cover's off here. So here's your oil pump. And way in the bottom down here, you can see some oil right there on the tip of my finger. And right in that area where that bolt is, like right behind here, there's I believe, a little tube inside there that is basically a transfer tube for oil to run up through the pump. And I think the O-ring behind that thing is not good. So I ordered a O-ring kit for this thing, which I finally found today. And that's on its way. And other than that, there was a little bit of oil on my clutch side cover, but that was just I tightened up all the bolts, they're fine. And then the other oil leak was actually off of this bolt down here. There was a little bit of oil, which there still is. I have to do some research on what that one is. I'm not sure. I'll look at my manual and see if there's anything on that. But that looks possibly as simple as a maybe an O-ring behind it. That's on the bolt itself. Other than that, oh yeah, the other thing I found out when I was doing some electrical work is that my blinkers, so I got blinkers the other day and hooked them up, and everything was good to go, I thought, but I was not getting anything through the switch. So I troubleshot. I had my flasher relay hooked up. I decided to do an ohm check on the flasher relay. There was nothing, no ohms. And this is what I found inside. A nice rusty, old, probably original OEM flasher relay. And as you can see, I don't think it'll work in this condition. So I ordered another one, kind of an aftermarket one, and we'll see what happens when that gets here. But yeah, so the flashers weren't working, and I think that was my problem. Other than that, I have everything hooked up. I just gotta, again, I'm probably gonna rip the carbs off and rejet it to the original jets because I think it ran pretty well on that configuration, and we'll see what happens. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, I'm glad it's running. It made some smoke, made some noise, sounds really good. Oh, the other thing is I updated the exhaust. So I had a I'll show you real quick. The Delcovic exhaust, original one on here, or not original, but the exhaust that came with it, had this cone, which was this giant cone that came out here like this. Wasn't a big fan of it. I've seen several with the straight pipe, so I went ahead and ordered a straight pipe, and I think it looks a lot better than, again, this big monster thing or the little one. So if anybody wants one of these things, let me know. I'll sell it to you cheap. But yeah, the pipe sounds awesome, and one of the next big things to do is to get the tank painted and then get the seat done up. I think we're going to ship that out and have somebody do that for us out in Seattle or something. There's a lady that does stuff out there. She's done some things, I believe, for Revival Cycles and Cognito Moto, or just Cognito Moto. Anyway, that's all I got. So it's coming together.